Saving Private Ryan is remembered as one of the most harrowing and evocative Second World War movies ever made, culminating in an ending that is as visually spectacular as it is emotionally resonant. Steven Spielberg's 1998 war movie won multiple accolades for its no-holds-barred portrayal of combat, particularly in its iconic D-Day opening sequence. However, while the Omaha Beach scene is rightly remembered as one of Saving Private Ryan's defining features, the film's ending proves that the rest of the movie has much to offer. After spending much of the story searching for the titular private, Saving Private Ryan's ending sees Captain Miller and his squad locate James Ryan, Matt Damon, in the town of Ramelle. After Ryan refuses to abandon his fellow soldiers, Miller and his men agree to help defend the town, engaging in a deadly battle against German forces. Although Miller and the majority of the rescue party lose their lives, Ryan escapes, a flash-forward revealing him standing with his family at the Normandy cemetery. With devastating character deaths and weighty themes, Saving Private Ryan's ending has a lot to unpack. It doesn't make any sense why Private Ryan refuses to be rescued. He doesn't want to abandon his fellow soldiers. Who plays the older James Ryan in Saving Private Ryan? Custom image by Milica Georgievic. One of the more complex elements of Saving Private Ryan's ending concerns why Miller and his team are forced to defend Ramelle in the first place. After finding Ryan on the outskirts of the town, Miller tells him that his brothers have been killed, and he has orders to bring him back home. Ryan, however, refuses, declaring that the situation doesn't make any sense and that he has no more right than any of the other men in his unit to be rescued. While Miller and his team are frustrated, they are ultimately unable to force Ryan to go with them, eventually concluding that they should stay and fight. Ryan's decision exposes a key theme of the film, the idea of duty. His loyalty to the rest of his unit highlights how service, for many real Second World War soldiers, was a more fundamental principle than personal safety. It also explores one of the movie's core conflicts between the individual and the collective. While Ryan's status as a final surviving brother is the catalyst for the story, in his mind this makes him no more significant than anyone with him on the front lines. It demonstrates that, behind every soldier, there is a personal story of tragedy and sacrifice that deserves to be told. Ryan's actions also highlight how the horror and trauma of war can create new bonds and relationships. The camaraderie, and occasionally the discontent, felt between members of Miller's unit permeates the narrative and continues with Ryan. The sense of belonging he feels as part of the collective is typified by his statement to Miller that, when they tell his mother about his decision, he should tell her, "When you found me, I was with the only family I had left." Thus, Ryan's decision is a complex and multifaceted one that speaks to many of Saving Private Ryan's core questions. Earn this, what Captain Miller's dying words to Private Ryan really mean. It brings the story full circle. Tom Hanks aiming his gun as Captain Miller in Saving Private Ryan. In what is perhaps the most touching moment in the movie, the Battle of Ramelle ends with Captain Miller, having been shot by the German soldier colloquially known as Steamboat Willie, dying on the bridge in Ryan's arms. With his last breath, he instructs Ryan to earn this. The movie then flashes forward to the present day, showing a surviving Ryan surrounded by his family at the cemetery. Miller's seemingly simple statement is loaded with meaning. His command is a direct reflection of the sacrifices both he and the other deceased members of his unit made in their rescue attempt. In essence, he is saying, "We sacrificed ourselves so that you could live your life. Don't waste it." Given Ryan's qualms about being rescued in the first place, this is a powerful message that clearly resonates. However, the "earn this" request is much more significant than an instruction to a single soldier. With this phrase, Saving Private Ryan conveys a message both to its titular paratrooper and to the audience as a whole. Miller's death represents the thousands of soldiers who died in Normandy and throughout the Second World War, and his parting words are a reminder to the viewer of their collective sacrifice. In this touching scene, Spielberg speaks to anyone watching the movie that the life they enjoy today is a result of the myriad micro-decisions taken by soldiers on the front line who sacrificed everything for other people's freedoms. Why Upham kills Steamboat Willie after failing to help Mellish. It follows Saving Private Ryan's most brutal scene. Many war stories explore the idea of innocence lost, and Saving Private Ryan is no exception. While most of the film's characters are battle-hardened soldiers, one who goes against the grain is the unit's inexperienced translator, Timothy Upham. Upham demonstrates his relative innocence throughout the story, from misunderstanding the meaning of FUBAR, to doing everything he can to prevent the extrajudicial killing of Steamboat Willie. However, this innocence is well and truly lost in one of Saving Private Ryan's most upsetting scenes. While running ammunition between buildings, Upham stumbles across Mellish's life-and-death fight with a German soldier. The combat is brutal and hand-to-hand, resulting in Mellish's death by stabbing as Upham stands by, paralyzed with fear. This moment is haunting, both for the intimacy of Mellish's death and Upham's total psychological breakdown. However, while Upham failed to save Mellish, he emerges from the experience a different character, typified by his decision to shoot Steamboat Willie in the battle's final moments. Upham shoots Steamboat Willie for several reasons. Practically, his presence at Ramelle, not to mention his direct part in Miller's death, suggests that Upham was wrong to advocate for his release when he was initially captured. Killing him is therefore partly down to Upham's guilt over the original incident. However, more profoundly, it also relates to Upham's growing understanding of the cost of war. He is no longer an idealist who believes in playing by the rules. At this moment, he recognizes that killing Steamboat Willie is the easiest way to ensure the other soldiers surrender. That he does so dispassionately demonstrates how his character has changed. Saving Private Ryan's final scene, Ryan visiting Miller's grave explained. It's a twist at the end of the movie. Older James Ryan talks to wife in cemetery in Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan's flashforward brings the movie's story full circle. Even though most people assume the movie's opening is the D-Day sequence, the film actually begins with footage of a mysterious elderly man walking through a cemetery, eventually becoming overwrought with emotion. The action then switches to 1944, showing the perspective of Miller and other soldiers on the boat. The revelation that the man in the cemetery is Ryan, not Miller, is an unexpected twist. The way the movie's opening is filmed suggests that the elderly man is Miller reflecting on his experience on the beach. The movie's ending, in which Matt Damon's face slowly morphs into Harrison Young's,